guys be expecting to get out of this? Anything in particular you want me to talk about or hear about? So I think I have my slide deck then. So I've been speaking professionally for about 25 years now. And in my office, they always used to give me a hard time about how my meetings would run and how my presentations were. Has anybody been to a meeting that was death by PowerPoint? Mm-hmm. So that's me. So that's the plan, is death by PowerPoint, where you got years with about 75 slides we got to cover in 30 minutes. So that's my normal presentation. But last night when I was prepping for this, in a dream I had, it was like, wow, this was amazing. It was actually interactive. People were asking questions. The information was engaging. We were just having a lot of fun. So the choice that we have to make, and I'll leave this up to you, is to make it boring and you can fall asleep, or we could have some fun with it, make it interactive, and hopefully have a great double session. Which would you guys like to do? Me just run through the slide deck, or do you want to have some fun with it? And
let's have some fun.
So everybody agrees we want to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right. So picture this now. It's the end of the night. Both of us have spoken, and you guys just got all kinds of information out of this. And this was probably one been to. All right. So we're closing out the evening. What would you guys do? What's that? Yeah, but showing appreciation for me and Lawanda. What would you do? I mean, we're talking, this was a great session. You guys learned a bunch. It was entertaining. It was a great session. What would you do?
Yes.
I get 3 claps. That's it. You guys are setting a low bar. So let's do this because, again, I don't know how it's going to turn out. My voice is kind of shot. I've been drunk for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Let's assume it was great. Just give me a big old round of applause. All right. So that'll be on LinkedIn tomorrow with a review, and I'm looking forward to all of you guys reviewing it and making comments on my post. Does everybody know who I am and kind of my company? I assume you did some research on this. This is who my company is and what we do. This is our branding statement. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I'm just not. Being a project manager, most of the time we teams, right? How important is the team that you have on a project?
Essential, vital.
Essential, right? So one of the things that we found is that almost all of a manager's success comes from the people that they have on their teams. So people make a huge difference. The manager, the people that work with you on your projects, and the trade association make a huge difference. So just keep that in mind as you go through the job search. Is your job, when you get hired, is to make your boss look up where you are right now, is to make your boss look good. There's your success. And that's just something to think about. Now, we didn't get into who I am and what I do. So I've prepared a little bit about my story. Does anybody want to know my story?
Yeah, tell me a story.
And even if you don't, it's the first slide, so you get it. So I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Does anybody know where Buffalo, New York is? And it's I grew up in a lower or upper lower class family, which lived, and if I wanted something, I had to work for it. There wasn't a lot of extra money to get stuff. So at the age of 12, I started my first business, and that was cutting grass, and doing yard work in the summer. And Buffalo's known for what in the snow, and I'd shovel snow in the wintertime. And a guy by the name of Tony said, you know, James, you should talk to these people and see if you can do their lawns every week or every other week and get a regular customer base. And it's like, oh, that's a great idea. So I started developing customers, and I saved up $20 and bought a power lawnmower, which was a hoe versus the push mower. And that was my first business and my first start in the sales. Graduated college in 1977. And 1977 was the worst blizzard in Buffalo history. So picture what you see on the news. This was the worst one. Also, unemployment in Buffalo was heavy industry. It was all closing down. So being 20 years old, crummy weather, no job you do.
Moved to Texas.
Moved to Texas, right? So
Give up
packed
and
up
come
my
down here.
71 Chevy Nova and came down to Houston. So the lesson I learned is you got to go where the jobs are. In 1977, a friend of mine said, hey, you'd probably be really good as a recruiter. And it's like, what's a recruiter? And it's, well, we help people find jobs and we help companies find people real good. And, you present okay and you'd probably be good at it. It's like, that sounds like an interesting job. I'll give it a try. And lo and behold, the market back, is anybody old like me? Remember this? I mean, the lawn ads were about this thick. It was huge. Everybody was hiring. And in technology, if you could spell IBM, AT&T, and HP, you could get a job.
Mm-hmm.
It was like crazy time. And, I got into it and it turned out to be the right place at the right time. And I was, some years old, I was ambitious, driven, and I started working for myself. And I ended up my first 3 months having all this activity and didn't make a placement, didn't put anybody to work, didn't fill a job. So now it's like, oh, my money's running out. I stepped out on what are you going to do, right? And that was pretty scary. I mean, I went full without doing anything. And then the next month, I ended up placing 4 people. And in that month, I made more money in a month than my dad did in a year.
Wow.
So that was pretty incredible.
You were sold, man.
It was amazing. There was a startup technology company here in town called Compaq. Anybody remember them?
Mhm.
And I placed the first person within their IT department, internal IT department, that somebody paid a fee for. They were running HP 3000 equipment. And they turned out to be my biggest client for a number of years. I ended up buying for $5,000 one of their portable computers. 286, I got the 10 meg hard drive upgrade, and it was a screen about 6 inches. It was amazing. So I got into technology. And business was pretty good. So I wanted to scale my business and maybe do some things. And I was talking to one of my advisors, and he goes, well, James, you really don't have a business background. What kind of classes have you had in business? None. Marketing? None. Accounting, finance? None. He goes, well, you probably need to get some. It's like, okay, where do I do that? He goes, if you join a trade group, a lot of times in volunteer organizations, you can learn a lot of different things by being put into organizations where you're developing, new skills. So it's like, well, that sounded like a good idea. So at the time, VPMA had about 650 members. They were the largest data processing in the city. I joined the group, and I learned a ton about what I was talking about and what was on people's resumes, because I really didn't know. But going to the sessions, you learn a bunch. Now, the key with trade organization is you got to be involved. You can't be a passive attendee. You can't be a topic-driven attendee. You got to get on the board. You got to get on a committee. You got to participate. That's the only way you're going to learn and gain skills. So I looked around like, well, what committee would I want to be on? So does anybody remember being a 25-year-old male? Besides money, what was the primary thing that you were thinking about? Women.
Extracurricular.
Yeah. Women. So there was a young lady that was the calling committee for membership. Back in those before email, we used to call all the members and invite him to meet. So I said, I'll be on her committee. That sounds pretty good. So we got to know each other pretty well. And a few years later, we ended up getting married. We got 2 kids, and we're still married today. So, value of a trade organization, it can be pretty expensive. And as I went to a Brian Tracy seminar, and he was talking about goal setting.
Mhm.
And I was intrigued with that whole concept. And he talked about lifetime learning. And so I started learning more about my profession, about sales, about technology, and developed quite a library of cassettes, because books on cassettes was a big thing back then. And ended up getting into, a role of lifetime learning. Because if you're not learning, you're ripe and rotting. And as we're going to find out, this whole industry is changing really rapidly right now. So a lesson I learned there is it only takes one yes, and you got to stay with it. So if you're in a job search right now and you're frustrated, it only takes one yes.
Mhm.
And it's just a matter after it till you get to yeses. The 1980s were amazing. Oil was booming. The economy was great. The employment business was great until it wasn't. And somewhere around 1986, we saw the energy sector collapse. We saw the S&L industry collapse. Houston lost 20% of its job base. I don't know if you guys remember that. You're a little young for that. Energy industry consolidated big time. Some of our big clients were Gulf Oil, Getty, Coastal, Hughes Tools, Baker Oil Tools, several other S&Ls, which are no longer in business. They've been absorbed. Huge consolidation. And you can imagine with 20% unemployment what the employment industry was like. It was devastating. So learned a good lesson there. Don't spend money you don't have, because you never know when things are going to change. So business was so bad that in September of 1987, a friend of mine was recruiting stockbrokers. And he said, James, you got to come over here. It's a great market. The stock market is on fire. Why don't you give it a shot? So it's like, okay, I'll try that. So I started calling brokers. Does anybody remember what happened in October 1987?
It was the biggest
What
crash.
happened?
Black Monday.
Yeah, the biggest market crash since the Great Depression, right? So that whole market went away. So the lesson that I learned there is even in good markets, they go bad.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of part of the cycle. So things were pretty depressing. It's like you're riding high, making money, and all at once you find that whatever skills you had, there's not a demand for. One of the other things I started doing is in my morning read, started reading the Bible, more spiritual from the foundation, and found that was pretty awesome. So, like any market, things change. Around 1989, something called the personal computer started becoming mainstream in business. Do you guys remember that? Anybody?
Mhm.
The networks were coming in, and it was just an incredible boom in the IT space. And I started building my business. I started people taking on more office space, and I learned a lesson. With the market up, you got to take advantage of it. You got to strike while the iron is hot. The energy industry was back booming again. Energy trading got into a big way. There was a company called Enron who basically, to raise cash, sold their IT function up to, who's that guy, Ross Perot? What was his company? EDS. To raise cash, they sold it. And then they decided to bring it back in. And we were the first company to put somebody in their new internal IT group. And they became one of our biggest clients. The other thing that happened was ERPs were coming in. And then year 2000 was starting to hit. And then web technology was starting to hit. It was an unbelievable market. The late 90s were so hot. We would make 3 business development calls and somebody was ready to hire somebody. And that was like amazing. The whole recruitment industry just exploded. We had 60 plus consultants. I had 20 people working in my office. Lesson learned, where the market is, you got to go with it and grow while you can. What happened after that?
Iran collapse. And
Yeah,
9/11.
first thing that happened was year 2000 was over.
Yeah, that's okay.
Then .com busted. Then on WorldCom and everything else fell apart. The NASDAQ fell by 70%. So if you had stocks, you saw your portfolio get pretty wiped out. And then something even bigger happened after that. The next year, 9/11 happened, right? And it went from being 3 marketing calls to over 100 to get somebody that wanted to hire somebody. So talk about a change. It went from shooting fish in a barrel till you don't even have a barrel. It was years to recover from that. So lesson learned there is keep your overhead low, make adjustments quickly, and build your cash reserves for tough times because they're going to come. Now, why do I say that in this situation? Well, because a lot of us are in transition, or what we're hearing about AI is all our jobs are going to go away, and you've got to be prepared and flexible for whatever's coming next. Well, what came next? Well, the internet exploded. Then these security issues started popping up. And this thing called InfoSec started being big. And we were first in the market. We started doing that in the late 90s. ERP still going strong. And we're rocking and rolling. Things seem to recover until about 2008. What happened in 2008? Yeah, the financial crisis. Well, guess what? That blew up again. It's in the financial industry, and they called it the Great Recession, right? It took 3, 4, 5 years to recover from that. For me, that was the first time I had to pay to go to work. Did anybody ever have to pay to go to work? Well, let me tell you, the lesson learned is it sucks to pay to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're the boss, you got to be paid to go to work. So the lesson there, watch your money. So then afterwards, this thing called fracking started happening. Anybody familiar with fracking? What happened to the oil and gas industry?
It imploded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it started growing, right? Until it imploded, right? So all these guys were buying all these leases, they're fracking stuff, and the whole game was you buy stuff, and then somebody would buy you, and then somebody would buy them. Eventually, the big boys would buy them. Well, all that stopped. So all these people were left with all these leases, all this debt, and the oil and gas industry just took a big hard time. So that was more consolidation in the oil and gas industry. So things picked up and they were going pretty good until 2020. What happened in 2020? COVID. And how did that?
Painful.
A bunch. What happened to oil?
Oh,
They
crazy.
had to pay to have people take it.
It went negative. They had to pay $30 a barrel for somebody to take it off their hands. All right, so picture you're in Houston. A lot of your clients are energy clients. They closed your office. They have everybody working from home. Nobody's hiring. Your primary industry is upside down. That kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
So I got with my office manager. She was with me for 18 years. And I said, Erica, I'm done. I don't have the energy and I don't have to go through this anymore. So let's close the office up. So in 2020, I began to shut my business down. And to do so, I wanted to save a lot of the stuff that I had for you never know. So I started migrating to the cloud and, started working my office space. And the lesson that I learned there is you could do everything right and shit still happens that's going to impact you.
Yeah,
It's totally out of your control.
that's true.
So I'm in the process of working from home a little bit, moving everything, and then the phone starts ringing. What happened after COVID?
Things started popping again.
Yeah,
Started popping,
great resignation, right?
right?
So it's like, wow, people were moving, they were changing jobs. The demand for workers way outstripped supply. The tech firms were hiring everybody, They were paying outrageous rates for people,
Mhm.
and you could work remote, right? So you could work anywhere for one of the tech firms. It was unbelievable. And the phone was ringing. I'm getting jobs, and I could pick which ones I want. You know, I do executive work, programmer. I can't help you with that, but give me executive levels. I did more compensation, JD, than those year and a half than I have in my whole career. We were getting people unbelievable raises, stock, all kinds of stuff. It was what we would consider to be the best market ever. And it was interesting because it was basically me. I had no office, I had no staff, overhead. Guess what? Profits were good.
Yeah.
It's like,
Healthy.
I could hang with this, you know?
Mhm.
So back in the olden days, somebody asked me a question when I was scaling my business. Do you want to be big or profitable? And I didn't understand the two were different. So I was small and very profitable because I didn't have any of the other stuff to deal with. So that was great till about 2023. What happened in 2023?
Return to work.
What?
Return to the office.
Some returned to the office. The market started slowing down. The tech sector said, what? We got too many people.
Right.
Twitter
Yeah.
got bought, laid off 80% of their staff, and said, we could still run this business with 20 staff. So we started returning to what I'll call a normal market where supply and demand were kind of in balance. 2024-25, the market's pretty flat, right? Is there hiring going on right now?
It's fake.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of hiring going on. Not as much as there was. So we all kind of got by the Great Resignation, and our impression is that's what the market is like, but it's really not. So where we're at is supply and demand are in pretty good balance right now. There's a lot of hiring going on. A lot of my friends are having really big years, and you know it's pretty robust. But it's not as good as it had been. But it's also a market. Layoffs based on AI. Most AI and ML projects don't meet their goals, right? And why don't they meet their goals? Data, people, process issues. Is that something PMI works with? Is
Yeah.
that one of your things?
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah. So what's happened is, you know, you can't add AI to a bad process. So it's like, is this what happened? Did anybody put in an ERP or been through that? Was it the same problem? Pretty much.
Mhm.
So we're kind of at that same area where you're trying to add AI to a bad process. It doesn't work. So what we're finding is that, you know, there's some changes going on. Now, I was looking at reading some stuff about Elon Musk and him talking about AI and robotics. We're all a personal robot that's going to do all our household chores and do our work and do all that. Well, I like doing that stuff, you know? And, you know, AI is going to replace everybody at work because if we got AI bots, we don't need to have people doing that. Well, I like doing it. So what's going to happen to all of us if AI takes our job? Nothing. Did anybody ever ask AI what's going to happen? So I had a buddy of mine up in Buffalo. We're sitting on my porch drinking bourbons and smoking cigars, and he uses Grok. And it's like, let's ask Grok what's going to happen. We're talking about the future, and you know the answers come back that you know AI is going to all these jobs, and the question is, what's going to happen with the people? Learn new skills, learn new jobs, blah blah blah. Well, what are those new jobs? And it didn't really have an answer for that.
It does.
And then the question is, people find meaning in work. We get a lot of value out of work. A lot of our self-awareness, self-esteem is based on our work. What's going to happen to all the people? Is AI going to destroy humanity? And AI's answer,
No.
Your session has ended. It's like, what does that mean? So that brings us to today and what we're going to talk about. So AI doesn't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what the future is going to hold. But is this anything we haven't seen before?
You can do it.
It's just another tool. It's another process. It's just something else. It's just another phase because we've been through it. And I've seen, bunches of different things that was going to replace everybody. PCs, eliminated secretaries, eliminated this, eliminated that. The internet, eliminated all retail. So I don't have the answer to that one. So that's my story. We done?
Yeah, it
Any
was
questions?
I like that about your
All right.
story.
So now that we have that, so then the question is, what's hot and what's not? So the way I do my presentations is I have very few original thoughts. Just to let you know, I'm not a strategic thinker, but I know people that are. And part of my value and how I make money is knowing people who know things. So I'm asking people, what's hot? What are you going to hire? What are we looking at? And I've got thousands of CIOs, executives in my database that I communicate with. And these are the questions that I ask. So AI, ML, data science is by far the strongest markets out there. And they were also explaining to me that at the board level, you have to have an AI strategy, or at least state that you have one in a publicly traded company, whether you do or don't. It's got to be in there because that raises. So that's where all these projects that get spun up and don't meet expectations come from. You have to be doing something because the market wants to see that you're trying to use AI. Business intelligence, data analytics, engineering, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is big because AI is kind of taking over that market. Business analysts, product managers, product managers, and project managers are also part of it.
Get stuff done.
That's what help drive your development.
They get stuff done.
But I think AI can do a lot of the tactical side of it.
You're not
But it's all about data, people, process, right? So you got to get that stuff straight first. And who usually does that? Is it a BA? Is it a PM? Is it a manager? So those things are important in order to automate. And that's what makes that happen. I won't want to be on a help desk or in the user support or a level, junior level software developer or a DBA right now. Because those are getting the most pressure from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I ask them, what skills are important in the future and what do you look for? So the number one thing is business and functions, and the business functions. Why is that important?
Come.
So you can understand the process.
Yeah, you got to understand the process. You got to understand the business. You can't automate it if you don't know what it's doing. And that's by far the number one. Now, is anybody a product manager here? Is that what a product manager does?
They understand
The requirements from the
stakeholder,
business.
requirements more than, and market.
Well, they understand stakeholder requirements, which is business and department. And they're supposed to be embedded in that group and understand what the workflows are, what the areas of opportunity are, how we can improve automation. That's them. That's what they're doing in theory, right? So the next thing they look for is communication skills. Somebody that can express their ideas, both orally and written. Now, can AI
A little bit.
a little bit?
Parts of it. Parts of it.
And for a project manager, problem solving. Any PMs get problems, projects go sideways, they get in a jam. Can you get out of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's a big skill because does anything really go as you planned? Stuff happens, right? I learned that lesson once. What about a cultural fit?
encompassing, very.
What does cultural fit for a project manager mean?
The
What's
right
that?
person at the right time and the right group.
Okay, how else does it mean?
Cultural awareness. Cultural awareness.
Control awareness,
Cultural.
cultural awareness.
Mhm.
It means being able to go through and fit with the needs of the people beneath you and be able to communicate the needs of the people above you.
Okay, so one of the biggest complaints I get about PMPs and all the certifications is they're very focused on process.
Mhm.
This is how you do it. Well, our business doesn't work that way. So you've got to be aware of the culture and what structure we're willing to do and not do. And there's a lot of PMs that don't get that. And there's right ways to do things, and there's the right way to do things. And you just got to be flexible enough to be able to do that. And that's part of being a cultural fit. You got to know when to push and when to back off. Negotiating. What does negotiating mean? What do you negotiate as a PM?
Everything.
Settle.
Resources, deadlines, people, money, everything, right?
Scope.
So you got to be a good negotiator in putting your projects together. So this is what mostly CIOs have told me that they look for when they're bringing in PMs. Now, has anybody used AI in their job search?
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Continually.
What do you do with it?
I use it to tailor my resume from the job description, but not to check it. It's a first pass.
Right?
I also use
What do
it
you use it for?
Run down the way about it. Find out that.
He uses it to jobs that aren't listed, like on a job board.
Yeah.
And it finds them for you, right?
Right.
So I asked AI to do that for me. I said, show me 50 jobs in Houston that are not with a recruiter, and here they come up. It's like, wow, that was pretty easy. Took about 30 seconds. Then I asked him, what certifications are they looking for? And this is the list that AI came up with in priority.
Mhm.
So it's like, huh. So out of those 50 jobs, and it was for PMs and product manager, business analysts. I put the BAs and the product managers in the same category. But this is the search that they look for. And it's interesting. So we're kind of narrowing the using AI to get beyond what's on the job boards and see, what people just have on their websites. So I just thought that was interesting. If you're looking at certifications, that's what's requested the most. Now, PMI is, I heard they do a lot of certs, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's one of their biggest things. Now, what I didn't see up there is the PMP AI. It's called?
CPM. Yeah.
What is it?
CPMAI.
CPM AI. So that's like the next thing,
Yeah.
teaching you the AI tools. Has anybody got that yet?
Working on it.
Working on it?
Mhm.
Anybody thinking of getting it? So if that's what's next, what certification should you be thinking about? Now there's thinking and there's doing, right?
Right.
So if I was in that position, that's probably what I would be doing next, would be getting the AI tools. From what I understand, it's pretty robust. So then the question is, and I asked a bunch of my clients, what's the value of all these certs? Because people have certs, I look at their resume and they got 20 of them. And it's like, well, it depends on the company, right? So I divided it up into bigger and smaller companies. And surprisingly, look for different things. So smaller companies prefer certifications. Why?
No time to train and need somebody to hit the ground running.
They've already been trained.
Yeah, the perception is you know something, right?
Been
So
validated.
if you got a PMP, I'm going to assume you know something about managing projects.
The certifications part, is that a direct correlation to higher education? or is that a separate entity itself?
Separate.
Okay.
Yeah. But they prefer, somebody that has certifications because the assumption is you've got a base knowledge of what that is. Now, on the other side, they prefer experience. Why would they prefer experience?
Well, somebody battle tested.
Yeah, because you have certification doesn't mean you can do anything. No, it means you got a certification. So bigger companies prefer that because they already have somewhat of a formal process. They have a formal organization. So a lot of the structure they already have. Smaller companies, it's more real world. It's more doer leader. Doer leader means that you're probably hands-on doing something other than just managing a project. There's a lot of shared resources. Usually the CIO or the director, or the VP, whatever they call them, they're managing the project portfolio. So that's them. The larger organizations are moving more towards product managers. And they're getting away from the centralized project management. Why are they moving more towards product managers?
Agile.
Because of agile, right? So we need that understands the business, understands the function, that could represent that department. Okay, get to know them, get to know their needs, look for areas of opportunities, create, a vision or the project scope, and then eventually goes into some kind of project management. But with agile, and you've got a scrum master and you've got somebody that's doing a lot of those, how important is function compared to the product management function? How much of it is already being done?
They dovetail.
Oh, okay, so is the PM changing?
Yeah.
In large companies, yes. What I'm seeing, most of the CIOs want to get the PMO out of IT. They also don't want security. They think they should be separate entities because our is a PMO IT focused entity.
It's all over now.
It's all
expanding.
business focused and its component is the. So in some cases, it really doesn't make sense to have it in IT because it's not an IT project. It's a business project. So they're moving there. The other thing is just more moving parts in a separate company. Any questions on that? Feel free to ask if you have anything or if you think I'm making stuff up. I do use that MSU method of information gathering, in case you were wondering. Potential areas of opportunity. So assuming that AI is going to, where does AI tell us that the potential opportunities are? And this is what it came back with. I have a tendency to agree. Defense, public infrastructure, defending public infrastructure, supply chains, FinServ, healthcare. Healthcare is huge.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Oh, man. I was on a cancer, I have prostate cancer, so there's a group that I belong to, and they had the head of MD Anderson's GI group, and he was talking about what they're doing with AI, and it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. So now they're able to look at huge amounts of data and start separating all this stuff. It's reading my imaging. It's like huge opportunities for your industry. Technology, retail. I mean, there's areas of opportunities out there. So now it's a matter of how do you start focusing on those. Some random thoughts as we wrap up. Twitter reduced staff by 80%. Lots of consolidations. Anybody get a call from an offshore recruiter?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just exploded where everybody's supposedly going offshore recruiting. Candidates is up 100%. So when a company posts, they're getting hundreds, if not thousands, of candidates per position. Why is that? Bots. It's gotten easy to just send a resume, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting inundated with resumes. Is that good or bad?
Bad.
It's bad for who?
Us.
For everybody. For everybody, right? Number of positions is about 50% than it was, several years ago from the peak. So in case you're wondering why there's so fewer jobs, it's about 50%. That's from the best market ever. So just keep that in mind. But there's a lot of money on the sidelines. This whole cycle is nothing new. Seen this before. All right, that wraps up part one. Any questions? Now we're going to get into stuff.
What do you think the future of, because you said where we are right now, what is the nearest future, like on the last?
What?
The calculation that you showed on the previous slide.
It's gonna
The-
speed up in.
The market, as
Yes.
far as jobs, okay? So I got into a conversation with my golf buddies about how's the economy. So how's the economy? It's a question. How's the economy? Good? How many say it's good? How many say it's bad?
I think it's decent.
How many have no clue?
It's in the middle.
Most. So they're saying it's a terrible economy. It's like, why? It's like the average guy can't afford groceries.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I know inflation took a big punch out of it and wage growth is stagnant. It's like, but look at it. How's the stock market?
It's raging.
Great, right? It's record highs. What is GDP? 3.8.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good, huh? All right. And what's unemployment? 4 point something is the reported one.
No reporter.
The U6 is somewhere around 8%.
Mhm.
It's been that way for a while, right? It's still considered full employment at 4 point something. So what are we looking at that's saying it's a bad economy?
Feelings.
It just feels bad, right? So I don't know. I mean, when I look at the indicators, it looks pretty good. Now, politically, if you think, Donald Trump is good or bad, he's got commitments to all this investment in the United States. Should be pretty good at some point, right? It's a couple years off, but man, there's commitments to bring back industry here. So I don't know. All the signs say it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Way in the back. Behind what?
Bots that are causing like thousands of
Mm.
applications.
Anybody know what that means?
They
AI
have utilities. Yeah. I'm gonna show that in my.
You're going to show it?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a live demo of how that works. Yeah, and we're actually a little bit about that in one of the next slides here. So that's our random thoughts. So now let's building a network. Why do you want to have a good network?
Who you know can help.
References,
Yeah.
help to get the job.
Yeah.
What percentage of jobs are filled through personal network?
80.
That's it's not 80. It's probably somewhere between 50 and 60. Okay, 50 and whose network?
Your own.
Your own network,
Mm-hmm.
or your employees, or a employee referral program. Does everybody? I mean, it's basically who you know that's going to do it. So you have a strong network. Now, what's the best time to build your network?
Well, you don't need a job. While you're still working.
Yeah, it
All
was
the
10
time.
years ago. 10 years ago, you wanted to start building.
And I need a job.
I need a job. It's like not a strong network, right? Process. You're always building your network. You're always looking for an opportunity. So where do you find people to network with?
Meetings like this.
Here. That's a good spot. So one of the things was you had to meet people and tell them your story and, get to know people, all that. I've met so many people at trade groups. It's incredible. Some of my best friends, 40 years ago, I've met at trade groups that I'm still really, and it's just amazing. Well, I met my wife. I mean, that's even better, right? Through networking. So the question there is, where are the resources going to come from? Is LinkedIn the only place to network?
No.
No. Is it a good place?
No.
Kind of.
Mhm.
It's a way to rekindle or start new relationships, though, right?
Right.
So I started mapping. So past employers, has everybody networked with all their past employers?
Oh, yeah.
Did they go other places?
Oh, sure. They
Did
move.
they know other people?
Yes.
Did you do a good job for
Yeah.
them? Would they recommend you?
Sure.
That's pretty good, right? So you should be talking to those guys. And what about LinkedIn? We talked. What about church? Anybody ever meet anybody at church?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a
Meet
good
people.
place. What about pub? Anybody
Sure.
go to pubs?
Oh, yeah. I'll go there.
Been there once? Yeah, I've been out once. So there's just all kinds of places to meet people. And it's just a matter of getting out there. So part of it is map out your resources and see who you know. Because it's not who you know, it's who you know knows.
Mhm.
Okay? It's what's their network like. Now, the other thing is when you're networking, what do you usually say to people?
That's what you. That's
What's
what
that?
you do.
What do you say? Do you know anybody hiring?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a job. Can you help me? I mean, are those effective? Why not?
Yeah.
Even if you have a relationship, why isn't that a good way to do it? Yeah, I mean, you're asking, but if somebody asks me, do you know anybody hiring? What do I think? Hiring what? For, I'm like, it's out there. I don't know. Of course I know people hiring. So part of it is you got to know what you're asking for, right? And to do that, you've kind of got to have a way to present yourself. And we call that the 30-second intro. Does everybody have a 30-second intro? You know what? Tonight, you're going to get one. So we're going to work on the 30-second intro because that's by far the most important thing that you have in your toolbox. And that's not only for building your network, but that's also the number one question asked in an interview. When you're on LinkedIn, do you ever run out of profiles to look at?
No.
Do you ever see similar people that might be like the person that you're possibly interviewing with?
Every once in a while.
I mean, there's all kinds of different things. Do you ever do an introduction to them? I mean, it's like, it's out there. You just got to work it, right? And that's the biggest key with working. So the first thing is, it's process, not an event. It's something you got to spend time on all the time. And in building your network, it's more than just asking for something. It's how can you add value to it. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to use LinkedIn for that. The next thing is what I call the resume in the bottle. Has anybody ever been asked in an interview, tell me about yourself?
Yes.
Everybody does, right? Why did they ask you that question?
They want to know what you've done, they want to know what your experience is, what your skill sets are.
Okay. What you bring to the table? Why else did they ask that question?
It's your chance.
Could be your chance to sell yourself. What else?
Manage time in the interview. That's why I used to ask it.
To see if they just talk. Yeah, why else?
To see if you match what they want.
Do they want to know what your family background is? Well, they could be, right? That could be what they're asking. Do they want to know? So the problem is it a transition question or is it just a lead-in question? The answer is it could be. All right. What we remember is most people aren't professional interviewers. So this is kind of a bridge question, and they could be, tell me about yourself, and sell me on why you're good for the position. It could be, I just want to get to know you a little bit and want to find out. It could be a lot of different things. I would always ask this question when I would first come in. First thing, so tell me something about yourself. And people would start talking. and then they'd stop talking. I'd lean into them a little bit. What does that have people do?
Yeah, squirm.
Talk some more.
Yeah.
So they'd talk some more, and then they'd stop talking, then I'd put my ear towards them and lean in a little bit closer. And what would they do? They just keep talking. And what would they tell me? All kinds of weird shit, man. Do you want to know about the cult that I belong to?
wait.
Yeah, I was abused as a kid, and that's important. I mean, it's
Oh,
like,
man.
my God, you'd be amazed at what people tell you. So what we found is that what we want to do is a 30-second introduction. This is your elevator pitch. This is, it's got lots of different things. So in 30 seconds, you want to put together a 2-line summary of your total experience. We don't have time to go through and do some role playing, because I think you're up and probably talking too long. But what that is if you've got good education, you've got certificates and experience, it might sound like, well, I have a MBA from Rice, I have a PMP, and I've progressed in my career from a software developer to a business analyst, and currently I'm a project manager managing $10 million portfolio. That's my total experience. And then you want 2 career highlights, career focus. Let's say I'm interviewing DM at an oil and gas company that's dealing with exploration data. And my last position at Chevron, I was a PM assigned to the E&P division, and my project was managing a budget of $2 million, and we were developing a management while drilling project that I brought in on time and on budget. What I'm looking to do next is to find a project management role with an exploration company that's in growth mode, where I could add value and eventually run a whole program. That's your 30-second commercial.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Does it make sense?
It's a good one.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm. Good.
And then you swap out pieces depending upon what the job is. So if it's not in the energy sector, I was involved with being the lead on SAP implementation, dealing with FICO. I had a team of 6, and we went from a burning project to salvaging and get it done on time. I mean, whatever your accomplishment was, that's what you're putting in. So what are you looking for? This is what you tell them. If they're asking you or you're networking with somebody, you've got something that you can tell them in 30 seconds. Why do you want like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
It's attention span, right?
Right.
Yeah, because you people stop listening to me. You're fading in and out. Anybody go to church? Count the number of times you fade in and out, fall asleep. I mean, it's the same thing, right?
Because it'll
If
get
you
bored.
start talking, they're thinking, wow, I wonder if we have any fajitas left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
They're
the
thinking
reality
that.
of it. So you want to make sure you keep it and practice it, and that way you'll have it. Okay, any questions on that?
That's good.
Normally we role play, but we'll just give it to you. Let's talk about your resume. How many people have taken their resume to AI? Have them customize it? Wow, everybody?
Yeah, we tried it.
How'd that work out?
It wasn't that great.
It didn't know how to do what I wanted.
It was confusing.
It was
Like my
spotty.
format was so much radically different than what.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have good success with it?
I did.
What did you like about it?
Well, one of my first things was when I first started using AI with my resume, the thing is I still wasn't that familiar with AI. So I started learning a lot about the correct prompts to tell AI for that. And then what right information I need to give it, because of course if you just tell it, hey, I do this and draft a resume, it just do that. So you have to give it the input, career highlights, these type of things. I've done during that time frame. So I was going to say basically you have the correct prompts and give it the right amount of information. What you give back is a very good product.
Yeah. So you've got to play with it. It's got to learn, right? So it's real interesting with that because you can customize a resume pretty easy, right?
Mhm.
So now I'm applying for this job, and I want my resume to match that job. Will AI do that for you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Is that good or
Well,
What do you mean by first pass?
So I'll put in the resume, the content, and I'll put it in the job description, and I'll say, how can I tailor my resume to fit, to highlight the job descriptions where it applies? And it'll show me the pieces, it'll show me the bullet points. You have to go through, because it'll say, I successfully started up, I was trying that up, I'm not putting that in.
mm-hmm.
But like, you can pick the bullet points that do apply and put it in. Like, I don't ever just, never, ever, ever blindly copy and paste from AI. Because there are certain tells that people just know, like the dash, the long dash, the space,
Right.
that's just like a dead giveaway. Just put a little bit of effort to try and make it look like it.
So what are we doing? All right. Yeah. So be a great first pass, but make sure you edit and make sure you clean it up and take it out of the AI format.
Yes.
And that's key. All right. Contact info. Make sure you got the contact at the top. Anybody have their resume on the template?
Yeah.
And is your contact info in the template? Where it can't be read by my ATS system. So when I pull up your stuff, no contact info for you. Is anybody that? So make sure you do that. Logical layout, traditional layout. So what I did on this is I went to several resume writers and I asked them for pointers. And this is what they told me. So keywords, most resumes are searched on keywords. LinkedIn is all keywords. Make sure it's searchable. You want to have stuff in plain text that's searchable. There's a presentation resume. Does anybody have a presentation resume? Beautiful graphs, got tables all. Anybody have one of those? Got all your certification medallions up on top so that it won't load into my system. Okay? So just know that a lot of those things don't work in a system. Have AI read or spell check. That's always good. Make sure your name, resume file, have it be on your resume. Name your resume. Be able to tell a story. So know what's on your resume and be able to tell stories about your resume. How many people have accomplishments on their resume? Can you tell a story about that? What current state was, what you did, what the outcome was? Is it measurable so you could tell save money, save time, improve efficiencies? Graphics, tables, charts, stuff that can't be read in. LinkedIn profile. Everybody have a good one? Which picture should I use? Which one did I use? Which one do I use? So use a good picture of yourself. LinkedIn name. So does anybody have, the LinkedIn and then it's got like the 18 characters that don't make any sense? Yeah, change your name. Does anybody here have a name you can't pronounce or that people have trouble with? Voice it. You could click on it. It's got your voice. Everybody know what the headline is that comes right after your name. The first 18 characters are the most important. So whatever you want to be found for, put that in your title. Okay, if you're a project manager, be more specific. Put it in the title. You got 120 characters. Active, scan, your about summary. That's where you can list a lot of your accomplishments. How many of you have a common title versus some weird ass title that nobody really knows what it means? So LinkedIn Recruiter, I get the whole database and I'm going to do a Boolean search based on titles. And I'm going to use common titles that a project manager is going to be called. Are they called project managers all the time? Okay, so if you got a title that's not what you want to be found on, change your title. But make sure you got your actual title too, because you want it to match your resume so that your stuff is all synced. Anything else? Anybody post?
Yep, I post.
Okay. Does anybody respond to posts?
Yeah,
Okay. Does that raise your awareness to people.
Sure.
Just comment on somebody's post and ask them to link to you.
Yeah.
Hey, I really liked your post, especially if they're in a hiring role. Does anybody target people on LinkedIn that are maybe somebody you want to connect with and comment on one of their posts and ask to connect? That works really well. And now you got a dialogue going. Okay. So that's really, really good to use on that. I'm going to skip this one and go to here. So navigating the job, how's your resume? Now, I've been talking about this for years, and AI will help you with that. Now, they get 1,000 resumes in. Is it a FIFO or a LIFO that they're reviewing?
iPhone. Like the last name, first name.
What is it? First in, last in.
Last,
What is it?
last name, first name.
First in?
First.
How many are for first in? How many are for last in? How many did you think they start in the middle? What's the problem with first in? It's all the bots. So the bots are out there, they see a job posting, your resume goes out. Are you qualified? Did you put any work into that? Probably not. So a lot of companies will look at last in and they'll start that way. Now, I asked HR people, how do you do it? Because you get 1,000 resumes. Do you look at 1,000 resumes? Absolutely not. You come up with a short list. Maybe we want 30. So as soon as we 30, we stop looking. So how do you start? Well, that's so the other question that always comes up, company forms. I see a lot of complaints. Everything's on my resume. Why do you want me to complete a form?
Oh, my God.
Anybody get frustrated by that?
Oh, yeah, every day.
All right, so you complete the form. What happens to it?
Goes in the
Comes
system.
in the HR person's email. Guess what he looks at first?
See if you filled it out.
So
Look at
that's what he looks at. It's who filled out the form because that's in my email. So just keep that in mind when you get frustrated. It's like, oh, well, maybe there is something to that. So do you do volume or targeted?
Target.
Which works better, volume or target?
Target.
So go after a company, figure out who's there, who you know knows, try to get an introduction. And if at all possible, get your resume to that person because that's your network. And that's where 50 to 60% of jobs are filled. So this is just incredible. The technology has made it so hard. Some myths. So AI tools in HR, more talk so far. So we hear about all this, we're getting screened out, we're getting this, we're getting that. Not yet. So far, it's a lot of hype. Everything is still keyword. It's all Boolean search. But there are AI for ranking too. They're starting to get that. Once you get into their ATS, they can start doing some stuff with it. Let's see, from a candidate, you get beyond the boards, it's name gathering, company research, targeting, practice interviews. So there's a lot that you can do there. From a company research, why work? Before you go into an interview, you should have a pretty good understanding about the company, the people, the technology. I mean, it's all out there. So now it's just a matter of having some of the AI do the work for you. Issues, opportunities, and dress for the position you
I
want.
have a question for the previous slide. Some of the forms that I fill out for a job application will have a tick box that says that I opt out from the AI reviewing my resume. How does that impact my chances of either being hired or not being hired if I don't tick the box? Because I wonder if I don't tick it, if they immediately just dismiss it because they cannot run it through their automation.
Well, and that could be part of it. Because basically, if they're running AI against it, they're trying to force rank you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
speed
that,
up the process.
right. Let's see. Job you want. So I was on a LinkedIn post just before coming here. And it was real interesting because it was a CIO who was in his mid 40s, somewhere in and he was waiting and prepping and doing all this work to position himself to get into a CIO role. And in the meantime, a couple of his friends ended up getting those jobs. And they did something different than what he was doing. He was doing education, certifications, bigger projects, all that good stuff. So I sent them this slide, and this is something that I got from interviewing CIOs about what they look for. So dress for the position you want. First thing, learn the business. Learn the language of the business or the department. Learn the processes. Develop relationships with people in the space you want to be into. The company, develop relationships with those power users that you aspire to be like. Have positive, optimistic attitude. Ask and step up. Don't wait for somebody to tap you. Volunteer. Ask and step up. Now, in project management, there's an art and a skill, right?
Yeah.
What's the skill?
You know,
The competency.
Knowing how to
You know the
manage a project?
Right.
And what's the art? Doing it well, how to do it, right? And work on your interpersonal skills. So I'm out of time. Wage growth is flat. So if you're wondering why I'm not getting big salary increases right now, it's because the market's flat. If I change jobs, should I expect a pay grade increase? Not. What we're seeing is the market's adjusting. For those that changed jobs multiple times during the Great Resignation that boosted up their salaries, we're finding they're overpriced right now. So there's an adjustment going on where there's really good people at less money. So just be aware that, money is kind of tight right now, and it's kind of a supply demand, and we're just not seeing the big raises. There's some information on what people are making. Are we done? Yes, we're done.
are we there yet?
10 minutes are done? I'm done. Cut it off. It's great. Any questions? I'll ask later. I think we're going to get some great stuff on to actually do that. So for me, you don't have to do that now.
Well, let's do it anyhow. That was sensational.
And James will be here throughout our workshop, so you have enough time to ask any questions that you may have. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes break or the second round, okay?
We're also selling
All right.
I'm showing some merch. I'm modeling it. You got to get this here. If you can't get this one, don't worry about it. But you should get a shirt. Show them your shirt. Show them, Debbie. That's how it look. It look great.
Sorry. I'm just gonna put the restaurant. Oh, you want
Less slides. Sorry, not James. I can put it on. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
There's water back there.
Please feel free to top up on your refreshments. Get another little snack so that we can get the working part of the evening. James told us what we need. We're about to figure out how we make it happen. Yeah.
So I'm not. So easy layout.
Did everyone receive a little token from us when they came in?
I feel like I've met you before already.
I am.
Yes. I have been voting for you. Yes, nice to meet you in person, Marley. I'm doing good. As you can see, I'm like getting into my role. Everything's so fun. I'm sorry she's gonna be leaving us like later next week. Yeah, for the most part, I am too.
Yeah, now is the time.
All the summertime.
This happened in August.
Okay.
So the Houston, I don't know if you were there at that time, but
The conference, yeah, right before it started, so it was too soon
so the conference, but they for the conference interview, so that conference stuck in
Was it like my
I know. But you like yes. Do you go to like the happy hour?
I do. I did went to the leadership happy hour a couple of
That
years
there,
back.
I didn't, but there's like one coming up. Actually, all the ones that are coming up, I plan on being at because I'm
It's part of the conference.
I stay at Memorial, but I go to the one in Woodlands. I go to all of them. So, which one do you like to go to?
I usually go to the I live in Sugar. Okay. So I saw I just recently went a couple of weeks back. It was in
The Galleria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I it all depends on the schedule and the so
hope I see you soon.
yeah, sure. So good to see you.
Me too.
PR?
We've actually generally a little bit. Yeah. Hey, we have a lot of good videos.
Okay,
So we'll
good.
be able to put together a really nice video.
Montage and stuff.
Yes, a nice montage. And we can also use these clips. There's a few pictures, but it's a little bit harder to get the pictures. I'm better at getting the videos, so we can take these and put them together and promote pretty much any kind of event. It doesn't really,
Yeah, like in person, like an in-person event, and you got people asking questions. I like that. That's good
So I'm
stuff.
trying to move around the room so I get different angles of all like 30 videos of it from me sitting right there. Hey, you guys were helping.
Yes, I'm on the board. Yes. Uh-oh. Weather. Yeah, I guess we can get extras. Policies. Okay. That's not the town. Okay. And this.
Emmy.
The very
No. They do more than one, or they just don't get by that. So yeah. So yeah,
I think we both to gravitate towards one another, but
Okay, we'll come up.
It's not me, I promise. It's not
You done?
what's happening?
That was not happening. That's the problem.
Go to you.
Manish knows once there's an IT problem, I'm like, Manish, where are you? Because I can't fix it.
You need to increase your team next time. Because everything is on you right now.
Everything I can't manage for you. Sorry. Maybe. If we are, that's I don't know. That's cool. Do we have people on? Are you free? It's actually our. Yeah, yeah. And then, yeah. Work plan. We have a good plan. Good. That's good. Nice to meet you. Anyone needs Wi-Fi? The password information is right there. Okay. All right. We'll be starting in around 2 minutes. Or a minute.
We'll be starting in about 2 minutes, everybody, okay?
She's trying to bring up her presentation.
It was showing on the first page.
I know. And Kirtan and it's like no.
Okay.
All right, everyone.
Everybody,
Clap 2 times if you hear me.
we're ready.
Clap 2 times if you hear me. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. When y'all get back to y'all seats, don't sit down. Stay up. Go to your seat, but stay up. Stand up. In your place. Stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on, she about to tell y'all something, then we gonna work. We got work.
Well,
Yes.
this is our VP of Professional Development.
Thanks.
And Dr. Bennett has over 3 decades of experience providing high-level consulting services to both small businesses and for-profits. She brings a wealth of expertise in technical strategy, software development, and with an in-depth understanding of software development lifecycle and extensive experience in SAP modules, Dr. Bennett consistently delivers transformative solutions across industries. Her dynamic approach and technical acumen makes her an invaluable voice in project management and enterprise technology. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Bennett.
Now I'm glad you're here for 2 reasons. I am bursting with excitement because there's so much to tell you. First of all, James is one of my cousins. I just want you to know that his leading the homework, we're going to get some of it done tonight. That's the first thing. Then what I want you to do is in your spot where you stand, turn around once, just once. Turn around, back to me. You're looking at me. And then put your hand on your heart like this. Great. So when they ask you what happened in this meeting, you can tell them that it picked you up, turned you around, and made you touch your heart. Touch your heart. Have a seat, everyone. Well, have some fun. I believe I was captivated by James' presentation. I wish I would have had it back when I was laid off with the Fed layoff. I wish I'd have had that presentation back when the federal layoffs happened, because I got caught up in that. I've been working for the Department of Defense since 2003, along with other companies. Not just that, but they had me come back for deployments. So when I was on my 5th deployment, well, that means that they'll contract you, but then if you're good, they bring you back, they bring you back, they bring you back. So I was on a remix tip. I was making a lot of money, and my wallet had to go on a diet. So when James was saying, hold on to your money, he wasn't kidding. You have to hold on to your money. But now I want to show you how you can make the money so you can have some fun, okay? The thing I'm going to teach you today will be about how is it that you use AI to pursue your agenda, all right? To teach you today. That's what you care about. And then you can take notes or not. If you like to write it down, but you don't have to, because I did a few things for y'all beforehand, okay? So I'm thanking you for your time and attention. So my work is on the career trajectory. That means you're here, you're going to go up. But as you heard James, he said you go down. But when you do, you bounce back. You ever throw a ball hard on the ground and it's bounced back up, right? So when you still throw down, you're setting up for a comeback. You don't just get thrown down. That's what he says about not quitting. You got to bounce back up, okay? So when I got laid off, I was on the downside because I was like, how am I bounce back from this? But boy, let me tell you what I need. Got on me some AI, and I'll have you on too. So just to kick you off just a little bit, what you want to do is find a tool that fits for you. It's like me deciding that I'm going to wear Debbie Pham's shoes. There's no way. First of all, they're cute to see. But second of all, I'm not made like that. What's going to fit you, going to fit you. So when somebody give you like baller plate advice, take it, it was free. Okay, that's nice. But I got to do what fits me. That's very important. So as you go through all of the AI, I have a question for you. What are a career move that you like AI to help you with today? This is something you need today. It's urgent. You're like, I can't wait. I need something today. Anybody got something for me that you want AI to help you with? Or you scared of it? Huh?
So I've already been asking it. I don't want just the job. I want a company that matches my values.
Ooh, I love that. So when you prompt it, what are you asking?
I told it that, here's the experience I have, here's the industries I'm interested in, and here's the kind of person I am. And then I was trying to get it to, it gave me some ideas.
Things that you appreciated or not so much?
It did give me some things I appreciated.
And what model did you use? What did you use?
I used both Gemini and ChatGPT.
And they both are very different. If you want to know what all the models, because they all slightly different, just like we are, you got to go to u.com, because that'll give you 40 models at once. So then you can see, well, what will Grok say? And what will Gemini say? And what will ChatGPT say? And what will Anthropic, what will Claude say? So you're logging in one place, but you get a full spectrum of the different AIs. So you're not stuck on one. Because once you get on one, you'll be like a baby with a pacifier. You'll be sucking your thumb. You'll be on that all the time, and that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to try it before you buy it. I don't buy nothing that don't help me. I'm out there in the AI lake. I'm swimming. It's like drinking from the ocean with a straw. There's a lot out there, but I need stuff that's real. I need something that works for real today. So I'll try it out, and if I like it, I'll keep it. And if I don't, I'll go and download them on the internet, but don't worry about it. I'm petty that way. I'll be like, you're wasting my time, computer. All right. Is that clear? You're only buying what works for you? And does the same thing work for everybody? Okay. Quick question. Who on ChatGPT? Who with it? Who like it? Who does it do right? It does you right? Okay, give me my Gemini people. Who like Gemini? Any co-pilots? Who using top secret stuff? Don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna let you live. I went to a company And the one that I use is a closed model, one called IBM Watson X. You may have heard of Watson. The reason I wanted Watson is because back in 1988, IBM was my absolute first job. So I love the IBM company, and I was going to this company and I wanted to impress my boss. So I showed him some cool things that Watson could do with them with data. He was loving it. And I showed it to him, and because I was new, I put my credit card in there, and I was like, okay. And then a month later, they billed me $5,800. That's your Watson. I'm letting you know the price point. So if you could get some ChatGPT for $20, I suggest you try it. But I'm just letting you know, if you use the wrong model, it could burn you. Does that make sense at all in terms of the model could burn you? All right. So one thing is that you want to take your resume in whatever form it is in and upload it to any of the models, and then see what about yourself, see what it's seeing, and you can begin to ask it questions. You can ask it things like, okay, you could tell that I have 20 years of experience in marketing, but what sorts of things would a company that's hiring for this be looking for? What's missing on my resume that they'd be looking for? Isn't that a good question? Because you have a lot of stuff on your resume, but really it's a laundry list of your technical work and not so much your strategic. So you need to bring that out. And then you can ask it, you can say, could you help me find some strategic insights on my resume, promote myself? You reduce my resume to my 30-second elevator speech using the format that James gave. It can be done. All right. Oh, quick win, and I want you to try this. At the end it says, apply strategic change. What's the difference between tactical and strategic in the first place? What's the difference? Tactical has to do with tasks, like a list of stuff. I did this, I did that, I did that. That's your project plan. Your strategy is how you're going to win. How are you going to win? I'll give you an example of strategy. Southwest Airlines. All they wanted to do is to get people off the Greyhound and fly the plane. That's really how they started. Their strategy to win was to make their prices comparable with a bus ticket to go somewhere. But they're flying and you're getting there faster. Their strategy was to win at that. And now they've grown, haven't they? That's what a powerful strategy can do. It can help you win. It's the same thing with your resume. You got to have a powerful strategy. Show y'all so I'll be safe. I'm going to be on time. I want to walk away from 15. One of the things I like about AI is the mock error. I really like that thing because sometimes I can come across as a little bit too funny and people don't like my humor. So I have to be very careful that I'm not too lazy-daisy with my humor because that could turn somebody off to help me be more serious. Fun for real. Y'all done hired me, it's too late. Y'all got the fun, girl. Okay, so that's one of the things I do that helps me, and I believe it'll help you so you'll know what you look like. Then there's some real-time insight. You can even ask it like, what are other people in my career base doing? What are people my age doing that have this job? When was this, like this particular company, let's say I'm looking at Pfizer. I want to ask them, let's say I want to be their marketing director. I want to know about their last 5 marketing directors at Pfizer. You know it can find it out. That's good insight. Can that be useful to you if you had insight into the organization and who's been in the position before you? Y'all sleeping on me. Y'all wake up. Y'all wake up. All right. So I would like you to perform something of daily practice. The reason I'm suggesting daily practice is because if you go in the gym and you do 1 push-up, you can beat up on the streets. Okay, I'm gonna let you know they're gonna hurt you, they're gonna beat you down because you don't have the weight. You haven't done anything, meaning that you haven't been in the gym. Therefore, if they come for you, they got you. So that's why I'm saying do daily practice that you can become accustomed because you're not trying to compete against AI, you're trying to compete against somebody that's using AI. That's who you're really competing against. It's gonna be like 85 million jobs impacted. 92 million jobs created. Okay, so there's a difference in there. More jobs will come. But we don't know what 85% of the new jobs gonna look like yet. Nobody does. not even the AI. We got a big job to do. So that means that we're getting ourselves AI fluent. You need to be able to speak it and understand it when the time comes. You don't want it to be, what's a large language model? And they ain't gonna like that. You may say, what's machine learning? And there's easy answers. Don't do that. Take out a piece of paper if you got one. And if not, just pretend. Draw me an AI right now. Draw one for me. You know why we can't draw an AI? Because they haven't clearly explained what it is and what it does and how it's multifaceted, multi-layered, multi-modal. So that's why you can't draw an AI. But you need to be able to. I ain't gonna tell y'all how to do it, it's too boring. But I'll show y'all one. Oh. Now, what I want to tell you about is how you make your own action plan with AI and how you begin to use AI to assist you. Why? You want somebody with power and influence to see your resume. You want it to rise to the top of the scale. And the only way to do that is to employ some tools that will assist you in that. I'm a tools person. I love little tools. I be playing them all the time. Anything new and shiny. But all I'm going to show you is what works. Because I'd have been through the rest of them. If they're junk, I won't show them. I only show you stuff that are valuable. Y'all ready? Clap 3 times if you hear me. Clap twice if you're ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all tired. Y'all don't like the teacher. Oh, scan this QR code and have it ready for after I show you the stuff. Scan this one first. Yeah, I had that somewhere for later. How I'm doing on time? How much time I got left?
An hour.
About 35, 40 minutes.
Oh, y'all playing. That's great. Okay, y'all got this one? All right. Hopefully you have it. Now take a picture of this one. So it's on my free account. This one on my paid account. The free account just gave me one today, but this one is like me forever. So take a picture of that. All right. Let me know when you're ready because I'm about to close this out. Yes, go? Okay, thanks. Thank you. That was very good. Now I have lots of stuff to show you. All right. These are the top 25 AI tools for job seekers. Am I going to do all 25? Oh, indeed. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take you through a few of them that you can get an idea and a concept in 5 categories. So I'm going to walk through the categories with you first and then try a couple of each one and do a demo. The cool thing about this is that you can get to this on your phone, your tablet, or so you're not stuck just listening to me talk about it. All right. So the first thing you want to do with your AI tools is explore and assess fit. Now, there's some tools inside of LinkedIn that are pretty cool. Okay, did you know it had a career coach built in already? Yes. There's a career coach in LinkedIn. Did you also know that premium feature turns on the fit for the job? You may have seen that. It'll say what % candidate you are for that. That thing be lying like a rug. I'm letting you know. AI can lie. AI can lie. You to know. And I always tell people, you want to do something on your resume that catches the attention of a human. Obviously, you know you need to do the SEO so you can Google to the top. And you know the Google results at the top, some of them is like flash if you gaze it, they fake. They like the person that bought the top spot, not the person that's truly the right person. But you need your resume to rise closer to the top. They're going to take the cream and the foam off the top and they're going to find you. So you need to make that happen. That's what I'm here to show you. So we're talking about exploring and assessing fit. We have the LinkedIn AI job search. I really like it. Have I done it before? Yes. I am one of those people, I need easy apply. I don't want apply. If I see apply, I'll close the job. I know they want you to go fill out their form and everything, but I'm like, nah, I ain't ready to fill out nothing in triplicate. I want to get rejected quick. Need all this time. I done sat here, I done filled it out, I done give them my social security. Now they got my information, and then I still didn't get the job. Wait a minute. No, go to bed. Not doing it. So if it say apply, do it. The only way I'll do it is if like a friend of mine told me to apply. Then I'll hit apply. But other than that, I'm on easy apply all day. And the reason I say that is because I'm like, look, let's get it over with. If you're gonna reject me, let's go. I'm not gonna stick around and get my feelings hurt. I'm not doing that. Okay, wait a minute, let me say it different. My time is such that I wish to apply my energy where it's more likely for me to succeed. That sounds good, don't it? All right. But the truth is, so you have that one, and I want to show you this one. It's called Coursera. Who's heard of Coursera? Yeah, that's who I'm competing against for professional development. They got cheap courses. Mine ain't cheap. Because you're going to learn and you're going to earn after me. I don't know what Coursera doing, but they winning. Because they got cheap classes. I'm visually impaired. Give me a moment. I can't really see the mouse.
I got it. What you got?
Right here, and I don't know if you've used it before, but I just want to illustrate it to you. Who's even taken a Coursera course? Me too. You know the first one I took was for Johns Hopkins University, how to screen people for COVID. That was the first Coursera I took, and I loved it. But it gave me a certificate. So then at work, I was like, I'm certified. I could say a thing or two. If they got that stuff, I know how to get them out of there. So that's one of the things. And the thing about this Coursera coach that I think is neat is it gives you an opportunity to use your specific knowledge, skills, and capabilities in order to build out what it is you need. So it's a really good coach in that way. Okay? Give me another. You already know about LinkedIn Learning. I won't bore you. The thing about it, though, is that it is attached to your profile. You do get a real certificate, and you can save it for later if you need to prove that you know a thing or two about a thing or two. How many project managers certified in Microsoft Project? Don't do it to yourself. Go get it. All of y'all go get the certification in Microsoft Project. It's online in LinkedIn Learning. Cheap and easy. What's going on? All right, I ain't gonna mess with y'all. I want to show you this one called Workera. Thanks. Oh, that helps me out actually. My people gonna be going to sleep though. All right. Thanks a million. Okay, then make the lights flash and strobe like a disc. Okay. So you have the agent-powered skills intelligence. You need that to be able to determine where your skills land on the entire job searching landscape. Okay. I love going in there and telling people, because we had Scrumtoberfest last Saturday. I tell people, go in there in Google, search Scrum Master salaries. There's 20. That's some decent money. And they're going to need them. By 2030, we'll need 25 million new project managers and about maybe 30 million Scrum Masters. Because they're agile. They'll be needed. The only reason I'm telling you that now is because you don't want to wait till the last minute. You want to have some strength behind you. And let's say you're like, oh, Wanda, I got the PSM or the CSM, which is the professional Scrum Master or the certified Scrum Master. The PSM test is harder, okay? But it's $150 and it's open book. You leave it to yourself. You do what you want. But that particular certification, let me tell you what it can buy you. Let's say, for instance, you've been doing waterfall all this time, yet done an agile project or a Scrum project. Get you ready. People will look at you because you're already strong in project management. So if you have PMP and PSM together, they look really good together on paper. The other thing, too, is inside of our organization, inside of PMI, We track talent that wants to get trained. So if you come on and you volunteer like myself, like Emmy, like Carla, like Aurelia, like Jason, all those people, you can get the experience you need. And the reason I'm telling you that is because obviously I'm VP of professional development. So when I talk to people about chief level positions, they were willing to talk to me. I now have 4 years of experience. I'm now a CTO. I was here as a volunteer, but I'm walking away as a chief technology officer. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And you would think, and I've been working on it for 4 years, the whole 4 years. Application after application, when all it took was a conversation. I had to talk to somebody. I had to talk to a real life human being. No AI. I just called up, what's up? What you got with job? You know, I just got laid off. And she was like, well, I ain't got no job. I said, well, let me think. I said, do you have a CEO that got to get on your board? She's like, God's the CEO. I said, well, I can't trump that one. If God's the CEO, ain't no room for me. Then I said, wait a minute. Do you have a chief technology officer? She's like, no. So I said, can I be your chief technology officer? She said, yes. And there I am now. And bill rate somewhere between $500 to $750 an hour. Y'all can play if y'all want to. I'm trying to tell you how to get it. No, I'll leave you alone. I will leave you alone. So the skills intelligence is what you need. This is going to help you predict where you need to get strong. Does that make any sense? All right. That's work area. All right. Y'all gonna look at it later?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, a few of you, that's fine. Now I want to, who heard of Khan Academy? Khan Academy, Khan Academy. This one right here. Yeah. I heard you say for the kids, but they got one for us. Now, this is ours. And it's designed to really help you get good at what you want to do next. So they said it's for the kids, yes, and they made one for us. I remember when I had to do polynomial equations. She did not thank God for coming. I was able to help her get through. I didn't know what they was talking about anymore because I graduated high school in 1989. Okay, get that. Thanks, Abe.
Got it.
This particular one is good because it's got what you need. And it's divided in for teachers. We've got one for us that want to learn. And it's backed by some pretty impressive groups like Wall Street Journal. They're using it. So you know it's okay for you to use, okay? So you're not, being slick. This is just a good place to come to get your mind strong. Y'all got that one? All right. I'm looking for time.
Good check. Hang on.
Somebody tell me. 20 minutes? Okay. I'm your QR code that lets you get to this.
That would be great.
Yeah. Go to the one I want to talk about.
I'll put it up on my computer.
I'm gonna send you a page with all of these on it.
I'll send you.
Yeah, that'd be.
In fact, when you fill out my thing, it's gonna give you a one-page PDF with all of it on it. I'll play that sometime. So I really like this one because it says optimize your resume to get your resume to get more interviews. The only reason that's important is because it's like trying to drink the ocean with a straw, right? You got a lot out there, but you don't see anything. Meaning that you'll send your resume somewhere and they'll just not even do you the good of a reply or a rejection. So you don't know what's going on. You don't know if they like you. You don't know if they hate you. They haven't said anything. And dumb it in a bag of hammers. You're like, well, I sent the resume. I spell checked my name, everything. So as you're going through that, here's something. Do not forget about your network. You may have heard James telling us how important your network is. But it's like, what will people do with you and for you? So If you got 2 minutes and 26 seconds, listen to this. I'm gonna put it on the mic. You may not be hear it because she speaks very soft.
We got that on the bottom here.
You got it?
Over here.
Let me let you look.
Okay, check.
All right, let me move aside. You got one plus 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Oh, that's enough then. Maybe there's nothing else to say. You cut off. I think my power's like, oh no, it's still there.
That's there,
Okay, let's see.
but it goes off.
It's too low. Tia Dash in our book. It's too low.
Can you hear it now?
No, it's too low. Okay, let me tell you what the long and short of it is. I helped her with her resume. I showed her some AI stuff. I worked on her resume. We did it one Sunday. And next job interview she got. She went in there with the resume I made her. She got the job during the interview. She got the job. 2 other people had worked on a resume, but they was deleting stuff and hyping up the wrong stuff. And I'm like, did you really do this? And she was like, no, I said, we taking that off. Anything that you haven't really done, take that off. Just take it off. Don't inflate or fluff. Because the fake bot's doing that enough. You don't want to be a part of the fake bot world. So don't put yourself in that predicament. The other thing is that it needed resequencing, meaning that she had the wrong things at the top. So I put her achievements up to the top. Then I had her work experience. Then I had her education last. And the reason I did it that way is because people care about what you've done for others and what you've been up to in the meantime and how you can solve their pain points. So as she's in the interview, crack it up. He looks over her resume. He really likes it. He asks her about herself, and she's very personable. She's a very friendly lady. So they were able to get off into a group. And then finally he said, well, would you like to work with us? And she was like, most definitely. Within the hour, she had an offer letter. I'm telling you, it could be done. So that's why I'm showing you these things so that you can try what you like, find something that fits you. Because remember, it's like a shoe, right? It's I'm giving you gonna work for you. All right, then. So don't come back to me telling me later. I don't want to hear that. I'm not gonna even take part in it. Does that seem fair? Okay then. Let me see what's up. Oh, like this. That's amazing. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah. We'll try that one, and then I want to show the teal. Okay. If you wanted to, then you could improve it, that and your LinkedIn profile with this tool called Resume Wordage. So if you need it updated, upgraded, it's kind of dusty, I will tell you this, your LinkedIn profile, make sure it has a picture of you looking, smiling, and radiant. Please do not be on there with the sad face. It's terrible. Do not do it to yourself. The other thing is that back part, that background in the back, make sure it's not gray or fake, because that's the hackers. The hackers is gray in the back. Don't you be gray in the back. Have your thing say something. Have your tag memorable. Mine is challenge the present, change the future. That's mine. You can use it if you want, but they're going to know. May want to use a thesaurus. Scroll down. Okay, so those are the build resume. Give me a new tab for me, please, Jason, because my other one, I don't need. Give me a new tab. I don't see it. You got a new tab? Okay, great. I just want to come up there and then type everything.
Okay.
I want each of you to write this one down because I don't know if I have that in there. Teal.ai. Teal, like the color teal? Yes. And why teal and not turquoise? I don't know. But they about the same. Teal and turquoise. You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, it's not there. It could be teal.com. It's still teal.
Let's go, Daddy.
Oh, no,
Teal
no.
HQ. You had it. It was,
I had the wrong thing?
It's teal.hq.
Thanks, people.
Teal HQ.
Like this?
but there you
There
go.
it is, first one. Yeah,
I want to show you this one because it's the best of them. And I noticed my thing.
Is that it?
There it is. The reason that this one is good is that it does 5 things for you. One, it imports your resume from LinkedIn. It imports your profile. It compares it to your resume. It's good. That's the second thing it does. Then it takes your resume and then you pick the jobs that you're interested in and it keeps track of what you're applying for. So as you tailor your resume, you'll know which resume you sent these people.
Nice.
Nobody had that problem? I have 50 Dr. B resumes. Because I'm looking for 50 different jobs. I just make it. But you understand what I'm saying. You need to keep track of what you're tailoring until help you keep up with yourself. Because there's parts of my background that I have to actually remove. Like if I want a fast-paced job, I pump up all my Fed experience. If I want an SAP job, then I need to do that. If I want a Microsoft job, well, I got to show them Microsoft stuff I did. If I want a project manager job, I got to make a resume for that. If I want to be deputy program manager, which I have to have a resume for that. I'm just letting you know that as your needs change, you're going to have to edit that resume. And you need a slick, quick way to do it. And a way to keep track of who you sent to what. Your resume have about 35 jobs on it. You only care about maybe 6 of them. You see what I mean? They only care about the 6 that they want to hear about. The rest of them, does it make sense that they don't want to hear the whole story? They just want the commercials?
So you just, like, say you had one job that experience, and then you had another job in the kid, you just sent the ones that match that.
And then what I do is I have the other one beneath it as title, and I expand on the one that they care about.
Okay.
That's how I do it. I don't care my resume, I just plug the pillow. All right? That's how they want. I mean, come on. Nobody cares. $2 there, let's speak Spanish. They don't care about that. But I bet you if I'm looking for a Spanish job, I'm going to highlight that. You got to find a way to eat. No, it's just me. I'm the only one that likes food. I get it. I so get it. I'm the only one that want to eat. I got you. All right, I have 2 more sections I want to show you. And so that's resume builders, right? Scroll down a little bit after this. Let's see what we got. The next section. So this next section, find, tailor, and track roles. So when I was looking for the CTO position, I began to ask AI, tell me how I can get ready for this. Because I didn't want CIO, I wanted CTO. Chief Information Officer and Chief Technology Officer. They are not the same. The only reason I found that out is I applied for a CIO and they asked me about Power BI analytics and what I knew about SQL. And I said, well, I can spell SQL. Better go over there. I needed CTO work. So I had to have them. So it helps you. CTO is there. Hunter, HUNTR. That's a good one. I'll just show you Hunter really quickly so you can see the difference. Great, thanks. Check time. The key thing is you want more interviews. You want more callbacks. You want more expressions of interest. I believe if you could get them on the phone with you and you have a good partner post, you know, that you're strong with them and that you talk to them decent, you could get the opportunity. But they need to meet you first. And the only way for them to meet you is for you to get more interviews. Do you think if you who gets nervous in the interview don't like it too much? It's all right, I got you. Because that's what our next section is about. What do you do if you're not too much of an interview kind of person? So you see you have things that can find, tailor, track your resume. There's a set of those things. Now what I want to come down and get to you are the things that are for your network and your personal brand. How you stand out among all the rest of the people. I'm going to show them to you. I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to come down further to the interview prep because I believe that's really important these days. You get that first one for me, Jesus? Thank you for your help, sir. Yeah. You know we train in AI. And that's why it hallucinates, and that's why it lies, because we lie too. You help me irritate some right up. Yeah, that one right there. That one there. All right. You want to come with big presence in the interview. You want to be memorable. Not that you had a prat fall and throw your feet, not that kind of memorable. You want to be the kind of memorable you're like, yeah, I don't know her name, but she had a strong vibe. She had good energy. I like what she's bringing to the interview. If you go into that interview and you lame and dead, you can just believe you're not going to get that unless you're working for an insurance company. They don't mind that so much. They don't mind it if you kind of flat. But there's more people that want power in your presence, your authentic self. You show up in authentic self. And sometimes that can be very hard because, I'll give you an example. 400,000 Black women out of work in the United States. We have a 65% unemployment rate right now today. So you can imagine, I began to freak out in my journey because I'm like, oh, it's a lot of us that don't have a job. But I waited, I talked to the Lord, I got 2 jobs now. Why? Just in case the other one don't work out. They have to like you, but they do have to. You want respect. And you also, you should be giving the respect. It should be automatic. It's the trust that you must earn. And if you get in the interview, you're not trustworthy, bam, forget it, go to bed. Night, night. You have to be trustworthy. So if you come with some lame rehearsed answers, oh, they're going to detect it. That's why you got to train with these things so that you can figure out how you're going to sound, because you're going to be recording yourself. You're going to look at yourself. And my recommendation is for you to first record yourself talking and don't look at yourself. Just listen to your voice. And that's a thing. Then I want you to do this. Turn the volume all the way down and look at yourself. And if you got that resting fool face, do not. Do not. If you look like I could push you over and you gone, no, that ain't gonna work for the interview. You have to at least look like you care. Does what I'm saying sound whack? Okay, you can tell me. I can take it. So this tree, if you notice, you can see this lady over here and how she's giving it, she's giving vibes and stuff. We can't hear what she's saying, but I think she's coming across pretty strong. Wouldn't you say? So that's the whole purpose of these models. And I got about maybe 4 of them for you that you can try out. I'm not going to bring it through all 4, but I made sure you're going to have all 4. Okay? Any questions on this before I leave? I have one more. Y'all ready for the last one? Flip us over to our black screen. Show that. Yeah. Black screen. I'll say it. I'll say it. Right there. You want back there?
No.
Yeah, go down. That's right. And then look at that.
Offer salary negotiation.
Yes.
All right. Why not?
Yes.
All right.
There's levels to this thing. All right. So the reason I kept negotiation for the end is because people do not realize that when you're interviewing, even though the market is different, let's say they don't have your money. Let's say they just don't have your money. You could ask for things. You could ask for, like, can I get every Friday off? You could ask for, can I get a parking space? Or could you pay for the parking in this building so I don't have to? You could ask for things. What else you want? I need 4 weeks of vacation. You don't have to pay me, but I want 4 weeks. What else would you like to ask for? Think of something that you want. I'm fat. I want DoorDash. You know DoorDash?
Yes.
I want them to dash me once a month. Look out for me. I like Uber Eats too. And wait a minute, there's another foodie, but I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. You begin to think of what that total compensation package looks like, and you can begin to negotiate it. And the whole point of this site, who don't know how much to charge? Who be like, oh, I don't know if this is too much. Oh, y'all already know how to pay? Oh. So this will help you get some insight to what's being paid, what the active market rate is. It's like talking to James. It's like calling them up and say, "What's shaking?" Like a director of, I want to be a director of operations. How much that pay? You can't worry James with that. You use my AI thing. You could call James. He's not gonna hang up on you, but he will listen. He'll listen.
Sometimes.
He said sometimes.
After 3 drinks.
After 3 drinks. So hopefully, has this been helpful to you?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Dr. Elwanda Bennett. I'm an AI educator and an AI trainer, and I am pleased to assist you in your career. I care about you winning. I care about you getting a good job. I care about you having fun, and I care about your learning. Thank you.
All right, so I think we have about 30 minutes left. The idea is for us to be networking, talking to James, talking to Dr. Al. Great questions from both of you guys. So we're here for 30 more minutes. And we also have merchandise in the back. In case of our chapter, we would like to ask you also to join our chapter.